And welcome back here, folks. Our second game of our Week 9 doubleheader. Red Army, Green Hornets, both teams at 5-3, and expect these clubs to go at it because one of these teams want to stay alive for the second place spot. I'm Angelo Poncello, bringing you all the live action here at the iSports Forum, and of course, joining me again, good to have him back, Randy Cristiano. Randy, it is good to see you up in this broadcast booth again.
Oh, it is great to be back. It's been a long time since I've been able to get by. I hopefully get to play again next season. And looking down at these two teams, I think we're going to have a whale of a game here, Angelo.
For starters, though, I mean, for Green, obviously the one guy that sticks out, as always, you know, you can't stop talking about it anytime he's on the team, but number 7 for the Green Hornets, Omer Chikwon.
Yeah, Omer is the consummate teammate. He makes everybody around him better, and I'll tell you, I will take some wonderful memories with me playing with Omer, and I cherish the moments I got to play with him because he's just not selfish at all. Everybody on the ice, whether he's playing on their team or against them, he's such a class act, and it's a pleasure to be on the ice with him at all.
And of course, a few other players here. I mean, Steve Gorman for one. Just gotta talk a little bit about Steve Gorman again. I know that if I recall, Randy, there was a couple of times when we were doing, like, just in our talks and stuff, where you would say Steve Gorman's a good player, and then in his earlier seasons, you're looking at him rated at 1 or 2 star, and you're thinking, nah, there's no way that he can play to good caliber. But then recent seasons show, Randy, that, you know, with a little bit of faith in a guy like Steve Gorman, you know, he can go a long way.
Well, you're exactly right, Angelo. Steve, once he started getting his feet under him, his legs under him, and his skating came alive, he was able to pick his head up more and work more on his hands, and he's making really, really good decisions. And that's what I like playing. That's what I like playing with him. That's why I like playing with him. He's really a good player to play with, also.
And of course, quickly towards the Red Army side before the referees get back out here again, some of the top-notch players on their team. Well, one, Jim Thomas, who's not here today, or actually, correction, he's shutting the door, I beg your pardon, but of course, Jim Thomas, with the way he's been scoring, Randy, 16 goals so far in 8 games, while everybody else, the second best, is at, like, I think 8 or 9 goals.
You know, it's funny, ever since Jim came in the league, he's seemed to almost be on a plane all his own. Again, not for a guy that has so many goals, he's just not a selfish player. He works with his teammates extremely well, and it's resulted in that many goals. Good for Jim.
And then, of course, another player that you got to capitalize on.
What do you mean? Yeah? Okay. Tom Buckles. God, good to see him again.
And of course, and he's another player that, you know, originally a defenseman, you know, now starting to play the forward position a little bit more. And Tom Buckholz, you know, again, is a force not to be reckoned with, or a force I don't get how I can, like, screw up on that kind of wording all the time. I mean, long story short, folks, Tom Buckholz is a guy you don't want to mess with, especially if it's a one-on-one opportunity.
I'll tell you, Tom too is like we talked about it last game in patience. Tom's a very patient player, and rarely do you see Tom make a mistake with a puck. He's one of those guys you don't see make those bad passes up the middle, or the clearing passes to nobody, or breakout passes to nobody. Tom is a very wicked player, very thinking man's player, and he doesn't make very many mistakes. Is he the fastest player? No. Does he have the best shot? No. Is he one of the smarter players in the league? Maybe.
And so with that, we will conclude our pregame report here, brought to you by the Power Play Grill. We will have the first period to you shortly. Don't go away. We'll be right back. You're watching Over 50 Hockey on the Poncello Broadcasting Network. Welcome back here, folks. Starting lineups here for the Green Hornets. You got at left wing Dave Garrick, right wing Doug Draper, center Omer Chikwon. Defenders back is Guy Roberge and Paul Rockhill. For the Red Army starting lineup, left wing Tom Buckholz, Jim Thomas at center, John Madalena at right wing, and then you got Mike Falbo and Larry Rapart as your defenders. And so Chikwon will move this one quickly up to Garrick. Now back over looking for Dougie Draper. Instead it's going to be knocked away by Rapar. Mike Falbo will move this one up, intended for Madalena. This one's back around again. Buchholz will get to the puck. And it's going to be stopped by Roberge. Back over to Draper now, sets up to Chiquan, looking to get around 2 Red Army players. Now triple covered by Red Army players, and Jim Thomas is there to strip it loose. Ball Rockhill back over to Roberge. Back to Buchholz, working off of Roberge. Setting up to John Madalena, big opportunity here. He'll fire the shot, kicked away by Rosengard. Oh, you can't get a better shot opportunity than that if you're John Madalena.
Oh, you can't get a better pass than Buchholz gave Madalena. How he got that through that hole. What a pass.
And this puck's going to go all the way back to Rosengard for the icing call.
Good to see Mike Ricci again. A lot of familiar faces here on these two teams. Last time we called a game, Mike Ricci was the most valuable player in the finals.
That's right. Which goes to show you how long it's been since we've done a game and how just wonderful it is whenever we get an opportunity to broadcast with each other, Randy.
It always is a lot of fun, Angelo, and I appreciate it.
I probably have more fun broadcasting with you than you with me.
I don't know how we're going to measure that one. Nice clear by Gorman there.
Quickle will get this one cleared out. Out to Rosengard. Rosengard with a lot of time, not too much, as Greg Bell was coming in pursuit. Mike Ricci looking to set up the Bell, hits the post! Oh, and referee's gonna say no goal on this one, but yeah, that's a really close call there. It could have been, or is he calling it a goal? Is Nabbitt calling it a goal?
It went off the post. It was not in.
That's what I thought. Originally, that was Jim Nabbitt, or the head referee in this game. His call was no goal, waving it off, because even though it hit like the inside of the post, it still didn't cross the red line. But then it looked like he was starting to make strides to call it the other way. So, I mean, again, just got confused that time.
Oh, another new player, a little bit new to the over 50 league, Greg Bell, with that shot. And again, last time we saw Ricci in that final, Ricci made an excellent pass to Greg Bell and gave him a beautiful opportunity. Greg almost snuck it in there. Rosengard very lucky to be able to get back and keep that from going in the goal.
Jim Thomas will take this one himself, looking for that open shot. He'll take it. Rosengard denies him. And this one's going to come back over to Ricci in the deep side. Looking to set up to Thomas. And Whitlock, intercepted by Buchholz.
Again, a nice pass to himself by Buchholz. Really smart play there.
Ricci in the deep slot, still looking to stay alive on this one. Stadtfeld with the puck will move this one up. Stopped by Quicko. Red Army regroups. And stripping it loose is Jeff Stadtfeld, and here comes Draper the other way. Buchholz trying to get this one cleared out. Stopped by Rosengard. Looking for options, finds Washburn. Sets back over to Chiquan. Stripping it loose, trying to anyways, was Mark Walker. Now Chiquan making another move, looking to make a deep move the other way, and denied by the Red Army substitute keeper. I want to say he looked like Jim Cloutier from the over 35 league, but again, we weren't able to get quite much of a close-up on the Red Army substitution keeper, but either way, it looks like he should be able to make an impact for this Red Army team.
Great to see the stick handling skills of Omer Chiquan this early in the game. A beautiful drive to the net by Omer.
Chiquan again with an opportunity. He will slip and fall, and diving across his body like a Asian Power Ranger movie was Jim Thomas. Have you ever seen those movies? Just a quick off topic, but like, have you seen like the way their action is? It's like they like to try to do a 360 when they get touched. You know, I mean, it was one of those things when you see Jim Thomas flipping over Omer Chiquan like that.
Not sure I got quite the same look at that one, Angelo.
I apologize, folks. Recently, I've just been watching a couple of throwback videos from Power Rangers, and you know, again, how they react when it comes to getting destroyed or flipped is they take a 360 into those bad boys. And of course, Jim Thomas, I guess, trying to flip over Chiquan like that because I guess Chiquan was diving out, and there you have Jim Thomas trying to avoid it, but he couldn't. And of course, that shot made by Chiquan, saved by the keeper.
A little surprised Omer didn't try to shoot that off Dave Garrick there and give Garrick a chance on the doorstep. Dave Garrick, another one of those fast-thinking players that always gets himself in a good position to make a play.
Speaking of another fast player that gets himself in position, and Larry Liebler for the Red Army, you know, originally a forward, but of course he can play both ways. You know, he's a utility kind of player. And Randy, if you see Larry Liebler like this past season, I think you would agree with me in terms of how Larry Liebler, again, another player that's just constantly improving in this league and just knowing where to go, and he'll always be a coachable player, and he always knows where to be in the right spot.
Oh, I definitely have to agree with you. Larry is another one of those players that really started late in life playing hockey. You wouldn't know it by watching him play. Looks like he's taken off a few pounds. He looks a step quicker instead of a step slower, and making some good plays out there to help create opportunities for his team.
As Bill Whitlock gets this pass back over to Gorman, trying to get around Greg Bell, and it's Rapar that takes the shot. Rosengard will knock this one away, trying to get this one back to Gorman, over to Rockhill. And of course, right now in this regular season series, the Green Hornets own both games over the Red Army, and they're looking for third time to be the charm, where they can actually have this game be the one where they can beat the Green Hornets here. As this pass comes back over to Washburn. Off the boards, finds Stadfeld. And Jim Thomas will get in the way, will hold on to the puck. And here comes Jim Thomas the other way, trying to get out to center ice. Puck back over to Buckles, trying to keep this one alive. Picking it up now is Rapar. Larry Rapar looking for that open shot. No one there. And it will be taken away by Gorman. Stopped by Jim Thomas. And this puck's going to come all the way back over to Madalena, looking for the setup to Buckles, off of his skate, almost went in. And now Jim Thomas trying to fight for the puck. And Gorman trying to keep this puck alive for the Green Hornets. This one coming back around just past Stadfeld. Will skate for the puck. And now Stadfeld still trying to keep the puck alive, trying to move this one forward. Chaquan trying to get a piece of the puck. This one coming back around the other way. Chaquan's going to get to it. Looking to set up to Draper, looking for the nice move, and Draper lost control of the puck. A beautiful setup there by Omer Chaquan. Gets it off to Dougie Draper, and Dougie couldn't quite get the magic off that he wanted.
Those two guys are so fun to watch play together. The plays they make between the two of them are just always so beautiful to watch.
Puck comes back over to Roberge off the boards. Intercepted by Rapar. Puck fired off the other direction. This one out to Washburn. It's out to Madalena. And this one's going to come all the way back over to Rosengard. We'll slide this pass out over towards Roberge, deflected off by Jim Thomas. Looking to set up the other way, back over to Garrett. Back to Chaquan. Chaquan on the move on the left side, looking to make a deke around Mark Walker. Trying to hang on to the puck, looking to pass it back the other way, instead from reaching out back over to Garrett. Almost had an opportunity to pass off to Draper. Quicko deflects it. Now back to Chaquan in the deep slot. Looking to set up over to Draper. Back to Roberge to Rockhill. Rockhill firing the shot. This one batted down. Now back to Draper in the deep slot again. Green Hornets still with the puck, looking for that opportunity. Red Army trying to stay alive defensively. Back from Mark Walker. Garrett getting away from Ricci's possession. And this one's going to get cleared out. Rosengard will watch the puck come all the way to the red line, and it'll be for an icing call.
Good to see Dave Garrett planting himself in front of the net there, Angelo. He's going to create a lot of opportunities for himself. Dave's got fabulous hands. If they can get to the puck to him in front, between Omer and Draper, Dave's going to have a lot of scoring opportunities.
But he's trying to quickly get that scoring opportunity off for the Green Hornets, and instead this one backfires over to Rosengard. Another icing call coming up. 3:43 to go in the opening period. No score here in this tight contest. Green Hornets, Red Army, both teams looking for that 6th win on the season. But each team knows that it was not going to be an easy path. It was going to be a hard-fought game between these two. So we'll see how it comes out to play. Lieber trying to make some moves around players.
Nice defensive play by Gorman there to slow Wheeler down and tie up his stick.
Shot fired high, Ricci trying to set up. Washburn knocks him off the puck. Liebler, I'm gonna move the other way. Red Army trying to score first. Sets up the Buchholz in the deep slot. Back over to Rapar, instead taken away by Gorman. This one's gonna be knocked back into the Red Army zone.
Nice smart play there just to get the puck out of the zone. As the Red Army looked like they were gonna get something going there.
Liebler on the right side looking for that open shot off of Rosengard. Shoots it high. And it's the Green Hornets the other way. Puck deflected off to an open Bill Whitlock. Big opportunity here for the Green Hornets. He'll fire the shot, goes high. Oh my goodness.
That's not something you see very often, is Mark Walker missing someone getting behind him.
Doug Draper now with the shot opportunity. This one goes wide to the right. Walker looking around Liebler, now it's out to Madalena. Gets a nice pass. Greg Bell's got to skate for this one. Greg Bell fires a shot, shoots it right into Rosengard. This one slides back and it sits behind the net for the Green Hornets. This one now off to Rockhill. Finds Draper. He's got Chaquan and Garrett. Chaquan with the puck, still stays alive with it. Stripped loose by Thomas, regained possession by Garrett. And
nice shot by Garrett there. It's such quick hands by Garrett. That line should be lethal. Again, Dave in front of the net. There, Omer gets him the puck.
Back over to Roberge. Off the boards, looking for Draper, now in the deep slot. Finds Chaquan. Looks to set up to setting up to Garrett. Couldn't get the right shot off they wanted, and here comes Quickler. We'll pick this one up. Trying to get this one to an open Greg Bell. Rockhill beats him out to the puck. Intercepted by Thomas. Looking to set up to Madalena. This one goes through. The question is, who gets credited with the goal, Jim Thomas or John Madalena?
I think you got to give that one to John Madalena. I think he tipped it over Rosengard's stick. Good for John Madalena. What a wonderful guy.
I gotta say, John Madalena to get in the way for Mark Rosengard as he was trying to dive out for the puck, and that nice flip around.
It didn't take much. All he had to do was raise that puck in to get it over Mark's stick, because Mark was reaching out for it. Usually Mark gets those. This time he lost that battle.
Jim Thomas fires the shot again, and this time it's saved by Rosengard. So the Red Army finally strike first with 1:01 to go in this opening period. And again, the 2-on-1, 2-on-0 opportunity, whatever it was, and the shot set up by Jim Thomas. I know Rosengard wishes he had that one back. Thomas looking to set up to Ricci, firing shot, and it gets deflected by Washburn. Buchholz picks it up.
Smart play by Marty to stay with Ricci, where Ricci's all alone in front of an empty net. Good play by Marty there. Another smart player in the over 50 league.
Puck back over to Rapar. Will take the shot himself. Shoots it off of Whitlock. Buchholz with the second shot opportunity. Knocked away. Garrett gets this one off the boards. Intended for Whitlock. Intercepted by Thomas. Back to Gorman. Intercepted by Rapar. Back over to Ricci. 10 seconds in this opening period. Misses Stadfeld. Here comes Bell. Continuing to pick up on the slack. Whitlock defends him well. Back over to Thomas. Will fire the shot, deflected into Washburn, and that is how the first period ends here. 1-0 Red Army here at the end of one. And I gotta say, Randy, you know, for the likes of John Madalena's tip and goal, that is definitely playing a big factor right now, and it carries a lot of momentum for the Red Army into this first intermission.
They're two very evenly matched teams playing really well. Seeing some nice sequences in both ends of the ice. This is going to be an exciting next 2 periods.
And so on that note, first intermission, 1-0 Red Army. Lots of hockey left to be played. It's still anyone's game here. Don't go away. We'll be right back. This is Over 50 Hockey on the Pontella Broadcasting Network. Here we are with Over 50 hockey player Randy Cristiano. Randy, what do you like to snack on before a game?
Before every game, Angelo, it's always my Prime Energy Chews. It gives me that energy I need to have that extra step, to score that extra game-winning goal.
Of course, there you are, folks. Gatorade Prime Energy Chews coming in various flavors of Fruit Punch and Cool Blue. And of course, it is the official snack of Randy Cristiano and of the Over 50 Hockey Week. If you get an opportunity in one of the ice court and vending machines, or perhaps maybe ordering your package today, Gatorade Prime Energy Chews is the way to go. Choose your chews. Gatorade Prime Energy Chews. Start of the second period. Larry Liebler, Homer Chikwan. Puck comes back over to Greg Bell, deflected by Mark Walker. Coming now is Dave Garrick on the left side. We're going to crash the net. Back over to Gorman. Deflected away by Liebler. Looking for an open Mike Ricci's got to skate for this one. Had the opportunity off of Marty Washburn, had him beat, but then he slowed down immediately. Gave Washburn all the time to come back. Liebler sets up to Ricci. Back over to Liebler again. This one knocked out from Gorman. Here comes Chikwan on the right side. Around Walker. Chikwan sets up the other way. Puck losing control. But Walker regains possession quickly. Makes a move around Chikwan. Staying alive with the puck. Intercepted by Draper, working with Garrett, trying to get around Walker. Back over to Chikwan, to Draper, firing the shot, deflected shot again. Draper to Chikwan. Looking for Rockhill the other way, bouncing pass. And it is, oh wow. I don't know what exactly Jim Nabbit was calling there, but I was pretty sure that there could have been no way that was an offsides call. And everybody, the Green Hornets bench, even the fans.
Mine wasn't offsides. Was that offsides? I got video. It was not offsides.
So Randy, you just came back from what was probably another surprising call. Here everybody was in the zone for the Green Hornets, and all that Omer did was pass it literally like right on the blue line to Rockhill, and the referee halted play and called it an offsides, and everybody, at least from the Green Hornet side, was like, what in the world was that call about? If you were only here like just 5 seconds earlier, you would have seen how shocked the Green Hornets were from such an unbelievable call.
I could hear the chatter, let's call it, from the bench as I was walking up to you. Little chance by Jim Thomas there. Oh,
another rebound opportunity by Buckholz. Puck is still alive, and the Green Hornets kick it out. Lots of scrum around the net, and Green Hornets keep the puck alive. Here comes Rapar looking to stay alive with this one. Now back over to Thomas, fires the shot.
Off the Buckholz.
It's a Green Hornet swarm right now by the net. Red Army trying to set this one up over the Falbo. Now off to Rapar, fires the shot, shoots it into Rosengard. Robert's trying to get this one cleared out. He does.
He pulled Paul Rockhill's stick right out of his hand, and they're on the same team. Gonna have to look at that on the replay there.
Rapar, this one now back over to Rockhill. Deflected the other way, now back over to Jim Thomas. Opportunity here, fires a shot, sets up to Ricci, 2-0.
I tell you, that's really some good two-man hockey there. from the blue line in, from Ricci getting it to Jim first, and then Jim getting it back to Ricci for the goal. That's some beautiful hockey there. Looks like the Red Army's really turned it up a notch here. Poor Steve Gorman kind of got left on his own out there, and when you got two guys like Ricci, who's such a playmaker, and Jim Thomas, who's everything there is in a hockey player, it's really tough to stop those two.
Puck to Gorman. He gets the pass out to Chiquan in the Red Army zone. Chiquan looking for that open opportunity. Shoots it. Almost got it through the 5-hole. Draper with the rebound shot. Knocked back by Washburn. Now it's Steve Gorman with the shot over to Chiquan. Sets up to Draper. Draper shoots it the other way. Green Hornets struggling to try to knock it in the net. And this one coming back around the other way. To Washburn. Washburn's pass taken away by Rapar.
Nice battle by Gorman and Ricci. Ricci trying to sneak behind Gorman, and Gorman wasn't having any of that. Just outside the camera angle there.
Chiquan taps the puck down, looking for Garrick. He's got him. Garrick will find an open Doug Draper on the right side. Now to Mark Walker, back over to Chiquan the other way. From Garrick back to Chiquan. Sets up back over to Draper. To Garrick again. Setting up to Chiquan, firing the shot, knocked away. And Greg Bell trying to get that pass back over to Larry Liebler. It's 2-on-1 with Mike Falbo. Firing the Falbo, back over to Liebler again. Big opportunity, we'll fire the shot just to the left. And this one's going to come around to Gorman. We'll wind up for the shot. He'll take it. Keeper knocks it away. This one coming back over to Gorman again. To Chiquan. And this puck bouncing back now over to Garrick.
Come on, get in there, Dave. Get in there. Really important for the Green Hornets to get the next goal here. You don't want to let these guys get too far ahead of you.
Buckles forced to dump it in. Back over to Rockhill. Puck back around over to Walker. And this pass back over to Stadfelt, stopped by Ricci. Looking for Garrett.
That was Stadfelt, I think.
I beg your pardon, you're right, it is Stadfelt. Back over to Buckholz on the left side, looking for the setup shot. This one knocked around the other way. Rapar with the shot, firing this one now over to Quicko. This one coming back over to Ricci.
Ricci playing that smart hockey again. Right in the right spot, almost able to set up somebody in front of the net there.
Now Washburn looking for that open pass to Whitlock. This will come back over to Quicko the other way. And now Quicko will regroup with the puck, 5:12 to go. This one comes out to Greg Bell. Looking for the setup just out of Madalina's reach, and Jim Pernice will get this one knocked away. Chiquan trying to escape for this puck. Off the boards, gets it away from him. As now it's from Quicko to Bell. Now an open Jim Thomas on the left side, looking to capitalize. Firing shot, and Rosengard stops it on the inside pad. And there is a nice save for the Green Hornets.
Jim Thomas is really creating a lot of chances for himself. Nice job by Greg Bell to get that puck up to him.
Rapar with the shot. Greg Bell trying to get the shot in, deflected away by Gorman. Now Dave Garrick trying to get it out to Rockhill the other way. Off to Chiquan. Steve Gorman gets the pass out to Draper. Pass to Chiquan. They'll keep this play alive. Firing shot. And the Red Army still on the move the other way. Now taken back by Chiquan. Sets up to Rockhill. Shoots it into the player. Another shot taken. Chiquan fires through, and it is a goal.
A badly needed goal by Omer Chiquan to get this game a little bit tighter.
And do you know how much of a difficult shot that was, especially from back corner, even though it looked like it was wide open? And of course, with the keeper on the other time, I almost thought for sure he barely caught the puck just before it crossed over the red line completely. But it looks like he got there a nanosecond too late, and Chiquan already putting the Green Hornets on the board, cutting the deficit 2-1.
Very tough shot on the backhand, but again, a lot of stick-to-itiveness there by the Green Hornets to create those opportunities. And Omer just finishing it off with Draper going to the front of the net. And the defenseman had to make a choice to go where Omer was going to pass it or was Omer going to shoot it. And Omer made the right decision.
Ricci looking to get this one out, away from Roberge. Stopped by Walker. Walker back over to Liebler. Stripped loose by Draper. Back over from Draper to Walker. From Rockhill to Draper, but getting in the way was Liebler trying to make the play happen. And now Roberge trying to get to the puck, stripped loose by Liebler. Looking for that opportunity. Fires a shot, and this one goes through.
The tiniest of holes, and Larry finds it to make another 2-goal difference for the Red Army.
That, of course, was a horrific defensive performance by the Green Hornets after coming away and capitalizing, cutting the deficit. It looked like they didn't even try against Larry Liebler. Liebler was the one with the effort, and he just kept pushing and pushing off of Roberge. And Roberge, instead of going after the puck, I was surprised. He just tried to stick Liebler into the boards and hold him up as much as he could, but Liebler pushed right through and had that goal opportunity off of Rosengard.
Anybody who knows Larry knows Larry's in fabulous condition, and it takes a lot. You can't give up on Larry. You've got to make sure that you don't give up. You got to stay after him, because that's what he'll do to you. He'll just keep his feet moving and get to the front of the net, and then he's got a chance at a goal. Good opportunity there for Jim Pernice. Marty Washburn would have really set up a really nice look for Jim.
As Greg Bell trying to get to the puck, but he will get beat out by Steve Gorman in his own end. Back over to Rapar, looking to set up to Thomas. Backhands this one, and it is no problem for Rosengard to make that save.
Good to see Mark Rosengard back in the goalie here. Definitely one of my favorite guys to ever play against. Always fun to plant right in front of him in the battles. I remember some wonderful times laughing back and forth, talking the whole game, even though we're on different teams, playing like we're almost on the same team, fighting against each other.
Liebler and Chiquan. This one comes back over to Quicko. And this was going to come back around over to Buchholz. Out to Ricci in the deep slot. And then it's going to come around to Liebler looking for the setup again. Garrick finds a backwards pass over to Chiquan. 2 Red Army defenders back. Opportunities here. Chiquan sends up to Draper. Looking to backhand this one around the other way. Chiquan looking to finish. This one knocked around. Lots of Red Army players in the net right now, in their own net. Rockhill looking to set up again. And Rockhill will fire the shot. This one now back over to Buchholz. Stopped by Roberge. Green Hornets looking for that opportunity. And it's going to be knocked away by Mark Walker. Larry Liebler trying to get a bat down on it. Rock Hill instead will take it away. This one comes back over to Ricci. Taken away by Liebler. Opportunity here, makes the move around Robert, stripped loose by Draper. This one coming around towards Chiquan.
Got a nice 3-on-2 here.
Chiquan trying to get that pass out. Could not. This one around to Chiquan again into the final minute now of the second period. And it is going to be a save with 52 seconds to go.
Dave Garrett got a little bit deep. If he backs up just a little bit, then Omer's got room to pass. And that slot was wide open. And sometimes the first reaction is to get real close to the goalie and to get you think you have a better chance at the goal. But sometimes you back up a little bit, gives you a little bit more room. You get a much nicer, much harder swipe at the puck. Good opportunity there for the Green Hornets to cut it back to 1.
And right now, that is what you call, you know, Randy, you know how they have that media term of photo bomb? Well, that right there, folks, we just got broadcast bombed by Miller Lite.
Beer bomb.
Not just any broadcast bomb, a beer broadcast bomb.
Goalie we had, John Carter? No.
And right now,
I'm not sure who that is. He's just getting tied up there.
referee's trying to make sure his skates are tied up properly. Not exactly sure what happened. It must have came undone.
Need a drink?
So with 52 seconds to go.
Who is it?
And I believe, folks, that was my stomach growling, and that means I would like to get some wings from the Power Play Grill here, our official sponsor of today's game. Of course, best wings in Tampa.
Best wings.
At least it's
really good food at that Power Play Grill. You can't go wrong with anything. Half-pound hamburgers to just die for.
You know, Randy, I'm just wondering, you know, Power Play Grill, they should come up with a better motto. I mean, like, than just best wings in Tampa. I mean, like, at this point, it's a given to say best wings in Tampa, but there's got to be, like, a better motto that comes out with Power Play Grill, I think, anyways.
Maybe you're right. All I know is that Mike Bradley is an executive chef, and there's a nice goal by Bill Whitlock.
Good way to cut the deficit back to 1 again, and Bill Whitlock finally with his opportunity comes through again over the middle, makes a nice move off of the keeper there, which I really want to call John Doe since we don't know his name, but that's kind of like the classification that we do anyways with all keepers we don't know.
You know, really, that was a gorgeous finesse goal because that goalie has not given up the 5-hole the whole game. And Bill made a little move to make it look like he was going to go wide, and that goalie just gave him an instant for that 5-hole, and Bill hit it. Really nice goal by Bill Whitlock. Now the second period drawing to a close here.
And it has officially come to a close, the second period. But again, how about for Bill Whitlock and the Green Hornets to get that last minute goal right there to head into second intermission 3-2 versus 3-1 right now. That's got to speak a lot in terms of the momentum.
It changes the whole outlook of the game for the team that's behind by 1. It's a lot different than being behind by 2. You're in the game. You got a chance. It's only one shot. One shot from anywhere can go in at any time. It's that close. So we know nothing about how this game's going to finish.
So with that second intermission, Green Hornets behind right now 3-2, looking to try to come on with a comeback victory to hold a 3-0 regular season series lead over the Red Army, who are right now looking to try to get their first win over the Green Hornets this season. Don't go away, we'll be right back. It is 3-2 Red Army on the Pontella Broadcasting Network. Welcome back here, folks. Start of the third and final period. This is it for the Green Hornets. They want to try to keep things alive here. And Ricci gets a piece of the puck off of Rock Hill. This one coming back over to Garrick. And Garrick's going to move this one up towards Roberge. Roberge trying to move this one up quickly. Finds the pass over to Chiquan. Taken by Draper. Here come the Green Hornets. Red Army in full defense right now. 3 players back. Firing shot. And this one's going to come back over to Greg Bell.
I think that went off Dave Garrick's leg. That was really close to being one of those oops. It's a tie game goal.
Greg Bell coming off strong right now. The Red Army looking to pursue here quickly, trying to make this a comfortable lead for them again. Meanwhile, Green Hornets trying to go the other way. And here comes Mark Walker back with the puck. Walker's pass looking for Quicko. Back over to Bell, and this one gets shot into the Green Hornet bench. So Red Army making a complete lineup change, as do the Green Hornets. But of course, some of the other key factors you're missing here is one glaring player that stands out for the Green Hornets that's making a big difference right now with him not being here is Tom Finley. And of course, Tom Finley has been having quite the production year so far with 7 goals and I believe 3 or 4 assists off the top of my head right now. But yeah, Tom Finley, with him not being here for the Green Hornets, is making a big difference right now.
Yeah, missing Tom Finley is going to hurt any team. Tom's an excellent playmaker and is able to adjust his game for what kind of a game it is, as well as anybody that plays out here. Here's Whitlock again, what a pass.
Gets off to Stanfeld, and he takes the shot and ties it up for the Green Hornets. 10.5 minutes to go.
It looked like Jeff might give up on that, but he turned around and there was the puck and whack right between the legs of Gardner. And we're all tied up, Ange.
Just like
new ball game.
Just like that, from when it was 2-1, then 3-1, Green Hornets come back with 2 unanswered goals. Here comes Statfeld again looking for that third shot. Gardner trying to control the puck. And this was going to come back over to Gordon. Will fire the shot. Hits the post. Back over to Pernice again. And Jim Pernice gets denied by Gardner. Gorman with the puck. Just takes it away from Buchholz as he was looking to try to strip that one loose. And referee looks like he's called or it looks like maybe a team called a timeout.
Oh, it looks like an interference call.
And let's see who is this on. It looks like it's going to be on a Red Army player, but question is who? Unbelievable. It's going to be on Larry Rapar. That is going to hurt, especially now that the Green Hornets may have another opportunity now to capitalize again.
It's funny, you know, we talked about the refs a couple times. It's neither one of us caught what happened, and I mean the referees have to watch a different game than we're watching.
Puck back over to Roberge. Trying to get this one out, and Chacon will pick up on the puck. Green Hornets get it back on sides. Draper working around Quicko, looking to fire the shot. Gardner out of his crease completely. And Roberge trying to stop the puck, and Rosengard's going to stop it for the Green Hornets back in his own zone, looking for Roberge. We'll look for the pass off from Garrick now back to Chacon, heading into the Red Army zone once more. Looking to set this one back over to Draper. Over the middle to Garrick, fires the shot. Red Army players defend this one. And Jim Thomas now makes a move around Roberge.
2-on-1.
2-on-1, and it's Jim Thomas, Mike Ricci, Marty Washburn back. Mike Ricci with the shot. Back over to Thomas, misses the opportunity.
And they couldn't recreate the magic from the last goal.
And this shot.
Somebody forgot to tell the Red Army they're on a penalty kill.
And this one's going to come over. Icing call made by Gardner. 8:44 to go. Tied at 3. 47 seconds remaining on Rapar's penalty. Again, right now for what the Red Army's doing, they're doing one heck of an effort in terms of killing off this power play. And they're still looking to try to score here. They've
still got 47 seconds left in this power play.
Gorman with the puck, looking for options. Taken away by Bell, now back over to Garrick. Off the boards, coming back around. This is Rosengard trying to halt the puck. 30 seconds to go. In the power play, Marty Washburn will take this one up himself. Puck out to Chacon. Spinning around Liebler. Stripped loose is Liebler. Puck puck back over in the Green Hornet zone, and the Red Army look like they're going to be able to successfully kill off this penalty. As we are officially back to full strength, Gorman working off of Greg Bell. Liebler fires it back into the Green Hornet zone. Now from Washburn is to Steve Gorman. Into the Red Army zone, has Pernice to work with. This one coming back in the Red Army end. Liebler with the puck. Off the Stadfeld. Looks to set up. Over to Whitlock. Firing the shot into Mark Walker. Now taken away by Ricci. Gorman trying to get a piece of it. Here comes Buchholz, one-on-one against Roberge. Buchholz fires the shot just right of the net. Oh my goodness, with all that room, you would think Tom Buchholz might have maybe, he took a little bit more time on that shot. Could have probably been a little bit better.
Nice back checking by Whitlock to prevent Larry Liebler from getting an open look. Good look there by Mike Ricci. Again, creating havoc with Ricci.
And this puck goes high and out of the rink. Red Army now making a few substitutions. Jim Thomas checks in now for Larry Liebler. Jim Thomas and Bill Whitlock on the faceoff. Roberge working off of Jim Thomas for the puck. Thomas hangs onto the puck. Bouncing puck. Garrick trying to get this one cleared out. He does off of Mike Falbo, and here comes another icing call.
Jeff had a little bit more time than he thought. If he could have just waited that instant, which is easy to say from up here. He had a couple of guys breaking that may have given the Green Hornets a chance to go get a goal. Again, when you're in your own end, you just want to get that puck out sometimes, especially if there's been the pressure that the Red Army's been putting on them. Ricci again.
With the
clear by Gorman.
And of course, this one will backfire. Red Army now off to Mike Falbo, looking to get this one out, but no Red Army players went for it. Here comes Omer Chiquan, and that's going to be an offsides call. Surprised there was a little bit of a delayed offsides call. I mean, Jeff Stadfeld was trying to skate off, and Omer Chiquan just took it up.
Well, Jeff got a little deep, trying to put some pressure on stopping that puck from getting out of the other zone, and Homer didn't see him.
Jim Thomas and Omer Chiquan on the faceoff. This one back over to Gorman. Sets it back over to Washburn. Looking for Chiquan. This one back over to Gorman. Gorman looking to set this one up by Draper. And Quickle looking to get the pass out to Greg Bell. He does now look for Madalena. And Madalena will dump this one into the Green Hornet end. Off to Garrett. Looks to set up to Draper. Draper got escape for this one. He's got Chiquan on the backside. In the deep slot is Jim Thomas. Knocks it away from what potentially could have been in Chiquan's possession. Back over to Chiquan, sets up to Draper. And Quickle gets a hang on the puck. Shoots it into Draper, and here come the Green Hornets the other way. Almost would have been a three-way collision had Draper kept going. From Garrick back over to Gorman. And he will dump this one in the Red Army end. Walker with the puck. Off the boards, looking for Madalena. Intercepted by Washburn. Deflected by Thomas. From Walker, shooting it to Greg Bell. And play will be halted. 5:01 to go. Still, this game is tied up at 3.
I'm not sure he called a penalty or a hand pass there.
Maybe it's a hand pass because, I mean, I guess it's one of those technical fouls.
You can't pass the same guy. Sometimes they'll call a penalty on that because you close your hand on the puck to throw.
I'm buying that really well.
Puck back over to Buchholz. Back over to Falbo. And this puck is going to slide back over to Rockhill. Ricci almost had an opportunity to get a piece of that puck. And now comes Liebler with the puck. Working on the right side, looking for that open shot. We'll try to skate around Whitlock. Looks to pass it back to Falbo. And now Falbo forcing to skate back for this one. He's got to regroup. From Rapar to Liebler, back to Buchholz. Finds Ricci. Here comes Ricci again, makes a move around 2 Green Hornet players. No one there to finish.
Yeah, just out of the reach. Just out of the reach of Larry Liebler there. Nice looking play by Ricci again.
Rapar with the puck. Finds Buchholz. Has Liebler. Back over to Madalena. Liebler skating with the puck. Whitlock over to Garrick. Gets it back to Whitlock. Big opportunity, but he's by himself in the Red Army zone. 2 defenders back. Fires
got Mark Walker back there, and I'll tell you, you got Mark Walker defending you. You don't have much of a chance.
And now comes Liebler, trying to outskate Garrick, but has to regroup. But of course, you gave Garrick an opportunity to catch up with you. He'll get the puck away from you. Draper with the puck into the Red Army zone with Chiquan. Chiquan entering the deep slot. Pass back over the other way, and Jim Thomas will flip this one high. This one back over to Roberge. We have about 3 minutes left to go in this game. Roberge off to Chiquan into the Red Army zone once more. He'll wind up for the shot. Knocked away. Back over to Garrick again. We'll fire the shot. This one misses the net completely. Back over to Roberge's 3rd opportunity. Gets the pass out to Draper. Draper looking to finish out to Chiquan. Chiquan over to Garrick. Big opportunity. Fires the shot. Looking to bounce this one in. And
what a save by Gardner.
And Gardner responds to Dave Garrick's opportunity. Garrick just took a little too long with the puck that time.
He actually got 2 shots.
Draper looking for that 2nd opportunity. Looking at Garrick for the finish in front of the crease.
Up a little, Dave. There you go. There you go.
Sets up back over to Gorman again, firing shot, misses to the left of the net again. As this one gets back over to Draper to Chiquan again. Green Hornets looking to capitalize. Garrick with the puck. Backhands this one, and Gardner coming through. Chiquan firing the shot, and it's in! Chiquan gets it into the net just before the net got off balance by John Madalena with 2:11 to go. And I gotta tell you, if Madalena would have been there 2 seconds sooner to knock the net off and the referees called a no goal, you know this Green Hornet nation would be erupting right now.
That was relentless pressure by the Green Hornets there. A great job by Steve Gorman keeping the puck down low. Instead of taking a shot where the goalie could have kicked it out, he got that puck down low, and Chiquan was able to keep that puck in play. Beautiful job by Garrick, Chiquan, and Doug Draper.
So now Jim Thomas takes the face-off against Whitlock. Red Army now giving up 3 unanswered goals, and suddenly in the dying minutes of this game for the first time, they find themselves on the losing side of things. So they're going to have to work quickly to try to capitalize.
And we know they can work quickly, don't we, Angelo?
Absolutely, and especially when you have the likes of Jim Thomas in the deep slot as he gets this pass back around over to, intended for Falbo, and Stadtfeld knocks it out. Back over to Buchholz. Buchholz off the boards. Jim Thomas trying to control it, but it was just right around his neck area. Couldn't drop it off in where he wanted to in time. And now it's Madalena. Oh, he gets this one cleared out. And it's saved by Rosengard. Probably not the smartest play, hey, but at the same time, if you're looking to get a lineup change, what other choice do you have with 1:30 left to go in this game?
Well, Madalena's dumping hit the stanchion, or that would have gone around behind the net, which probably would have been a much better play because the Red Army would have been able to work the puck from down low. Instead, Rosengard was able to grab that puck and give the Green Hornets a chance to reset.
I think the Red Army are trying to show signs that they want a timeout, and that is exactly what's going to be happening. Red Army's going to be looking to take a timeout here, try to regroup on things, see how they're going to be able to resort to this last 90 seconds, now suddenly finding themselves down 4-3.
What a third period. We see a 3-2 advantage turn into a 4-3 deficit. Does the Red Army have it in them to come back and get this tying goal and force a shootout?
All this and more. Again, 1:30 to go. Green Hornets if they can hang on for the next 90 seconds, we'll go 3-0 against the Red Army in this regular season series. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We'll take a timeout here. You are watching Over 50 Hockey on the Pontella Broadcasting Network. And Jaquan and Thomas go on the face-off. Garrick trying to get this one up quickly, and Red Army right now playing with 6 men. So here we go, and there's another shot taken, and nothing there, and there's a shot taken, and referee's gonna call it a goal.
I thought Rosengard had grabbed that, but the referee is saying
No goal. He said no goal. Are you kidding me?
I did not see the puck cross the
Oh
line,
my
Angelo.
goodness, that is a huge call there made by Jim Nabbit right there to signal no goal, and that keeps the Green Hornets alive, and the Red Army want an explanation.
They're not going to get one, Angelo. They're not going to get one. But
I would
keep
not
the
be
pressure
surprised
on.
if the Red Army are going to be looking to call back on this one again, and Jaquan shoots it in his own bench.
You're supposed to shoot it in the other team's bench, Omar.
Maybe the Green Hornets were going a little howdy racy, and that's Omer's way of telling his teammates to shut up.
What opportunities are the Red Army created by Ricci and Lieber?
Gorman shoots it into Buckholz. Here comes the 6th man again. Here comes Washburn. Stopped by Liebler. Big opportunity. We'll fire the shot. Deflected by Draper. Jaquan with the puck. And this one's going to be stopped by Walker. This will go back a little bit. 45 seconds to go. Red Army looking to try to avoid being down 3-0 in this regular season series lead over the Green Hornets. They're looking at everything they can to try to get this game tied up. 33 seconds to go. Liebler puts it back in the Green Hornet end. Ricci gets to it. No, it's going to be Steve Gorman. And now it's back over to Jaquan. And Quickle fires a shot over to Buckholz, knocked away.
Oh, that rolls off Marty's stick plate, and he isn't able to get it out. You got 13 seconds left, and now Jaquan gets it out, and that just may be it.
And Quickle's going to come all the way back. And he's going to take a lot of time with the puck. But that is going to do it. Final score, the Green Hornets 4, Red Army 3, after an amazing comeback of 3 goals, being down 3-1 at one point in the game. And the Green Hornets just find a way in this 3rd period to come back and get the victory. And of course for the Red Army, this just adds fuel to the fire, where it's like they're so close to beating this Green Hornet team, yet they still can't get the job done this season so far.
I'll tell you, that goal at the end of the 2nd period, where they cut the deficit to 1, was huge. And that last minute, it created a whole different momentum for the Green Hornets. They took advantage of that momentum, and they come out with a victory.
Oh my goodness, and of course this absolutely has to be a heartbreaking loss for this Red Army team. Again, this was a game where they needed to win in order to kind of jump themselves and to keep them competing for 1st place. And with an opportunity like this just slipping through their fingers, you know, at least you could have tried to maybe like keep this game tied to get it to a shootout. That way both teams have an opportunity to get 1 point in the standings. But with this, another regular loss, you know, Green Hornets grab another 2 points, a crucial 2 points at that, heading with 3 games left in the season.
You know, the situation, it still comes down to these teams are going to meet in the playoffs. You beat the same team 3 times, 4 times in a season. When it comes to the playoffs, that 4th and 5th time of the season is extremely difficult. So you can't count this Red Army team out. They had great looks, great opportunities. Rosengard came up huge for them in goal a few times. So don't count this Red Army team out. It's a toss-up anytime these 2 teams get on the ice.
And of course, again, with a 3rd loss and still not being able to beat the Green Hornets, this is going to add probably the fuel to the fire in terms of should these 2 teams finish 2nd and 3rd respectively. However, in that 1st round of the playoffs, you know it is going to be an absolutely killer game where both teams are going to be playing their hearts out.
Oh, you just can't ask for much more. Just like today, as the end of the game came closer, the intensity and the effort just got so much greater, and the chances that the Red Army worked to create, they weren't there like they were in the 1st half of the game. The Green Hornets really shut them down in their own zone, even though the Red Army had possession. Green Hornets were able to keep that puck outside, and for the most part, keep them from getting those really good looks they were getting earlier in the game.
And of course that what has been, what's probably the Red Army is going to be looking at, and what we're probably going to be looking at for this upcoming week, Randy, is that final minute goal where everybody thought that one went in, but then Jim Nabbitt's call of saying that was a no goal. I mean, like, obviously he saw it firsthand right there to see where exactly the puck was located, but you know Red Army fans everywhere are going to be questioning that goal.
That's going to be something that they're going to be talking about for several weeks, all the way up until the playoffs. If these two teams get a chance to come back together, the Red Army thinks they got robbed. The Red Army thinks this is inappropriate for the game to end this way. This is really going to be a good matchup the next two times these teams get back on the ice.
And just as kind of like a future reference, the regular season finale is July 12th. At least I think it's July 12th anyways.
Rosengard just said it's a goal too.
Yeah, Rosengard is saying it's a goal.
Too late. Too late, Mark.
So like goalie right there, and you can tell right there.
That was a good goal. Yeah.
And now just saying that, yeah, Jim Nabbitt is going to be hated amongst Red Army fans right now if they're seeing that one.
You know, it's not so much the referee.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying the call either way. It's like you hear that and it's like suddenly, oh my goodness, that was a goal, and then it's like that call making the difference in that game.
So we have controversy now. We may have to bring extra players into this. We don't know what's going to happen in this. Whether we have to get with hockey director Finney, I don't know. This could be something that stirs the pot like the over 50 league has never seen before.
Well, actually, I was wondering. I knew a situation like this was going to happen, so we're going to bring in just real quick Vladimir Petrovsky, our review over 50 hockey rule official, and we'll see what Vladimir has to say. Vladimir, what did you think of that?
Well, Mark Rosengard was definitely right about that. You know, it was a goal, and for the referee Jim Nabbitt to call it the other way, of course, I disagree with the call, but you know, it's the referee's way to make sure that things are called correctly. Mark Rosengard admitted it too. You know, that was supposed to be a goal. You mean you had all the camera angles, you had everything else involved, and of course, that's going to be difficult to accept. Where they had that goal, it should have been a shootout, but Green Hornets get another 2 points.
Well, thank you, Vladimir, on your update there. But Randy, any other final thoughts you can think of about this game?
I can't wait to see these two teams play again. It's going to be a bloodbath.
All right, well, on that note, this has been another production of the Fontello Broadcasting Network. Next week, week 10, we invite you all back here. And at the end of 3 rounds so far, you have the Yellow Jackets up at a 7-2 record. Green Hornets improved to 6-3 on the season. Red Army dropped to 5-4. And of course, the Grey Wolves at 0-9. Again, 0-9 right now. They're 3 games away from pulling off from what? But again, 3 games away. Grey Wolves still on target to becoming the first team to go 0-12, and they're only 3 weeks away from doing it if they can lose on out here. That, Randy, is another thing we have to talk about. What do you think of the Grey Wolves' chances of going 0-12 and then maybe somehow turning it around in the playoffs?
Again, Angelo, it's hockey. You never know how the bounces are going to go. Every week you lace them up, you go out there on the ice, they drop the puck, and you don't know what the puck's going to do. And the Grey Wolves could win these 3 games. They could lose them all. So I wouldn't count them out. Are they the strongest team in this league? Absolutely not. Could they be the first to not win a game? Absolutely. But
they could also be a team that may go 0-12, but then somehow turn around the playoffs and end up winning the Stanley Cup.
You never know. It's hockey. You never know the bounces. So you can't count the Green Hornets out. You can't count anybody out right now. This is going to be a great finish to this season.
Of course, again, with 3 games left, you know the heat's going to be turned up in terms of the playoffs. I mean, at this point, obviously, you have the Grey Wolves locking up that fourth seed. You know, I mean, there's virtually no way with 3 games left they're going to be able to come back. But for the other 3 teams, though, this definitely blows the play. And despite the loss, if the Red Army could win 3 games and then the yellow and green teams just do whatever to finagle and to collapse, the Red Army still have a really good chance of finishing in first.
They do. And the way these teams, as even as these three teams are, you don't know what's going to happen. The three of them can knock each other off. So this is going to be really exciting to watch, Angelo. It's too bad I won't be back here to see it, but I'm sure you're going to enjoy this.
Of course, and of course, Randy and other viewers will be able to watch these games on YouTube to follow up on all the live action. Or if you're in the area, you can come down to the iSports Forum yourself and see what kind of wonderful action and magic happens here with this Over 50 Hockey League from 3 to 6 p.m. every Sunday. Can't wait to see what the next 3 games have to bring to us. But again, right now with the standing, it's going to be a tight finish. But for Randy Cristiano, again, we thank you for coming out. Again, it's always a pleasure doing this broadcast stuff with you, man.
I appreciate you having me, Angelo. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad we got to do this. It was a lot of fun again.
Well, on that note, for Randy Cristiano, I am Angelo Pontillo, and we say so long, good night, and we hope everyone will have a blessed evening. Take care, everyone, and we will see you back here next week.